segment, I want to talk about the baseball. More importantly, the grip of the baseball. Look at the size of my hand. I got pretty big hands. And look at the size, or think of the size of a 5-year-old's hand. Unfortunately, baseballs, whether they're RIF 5 or the Major League hardball, the baseball is the exact same size for all ages. So you can see the potential for there being a problem with being able to grip the baseball properly. The 4-seam grip. Talking about seams and being able to control the ball and throw it more accurately and getting the hands on the ball. The 4 seams are 1, 2, 3, 4 in a full 360-degree rotation. The proper grip for the baseball is to have the fingers across the top of the horseshoe. To show here, there's a horseshoe here. Fingers across the top of the horseshoe. For those players whose hands aren't big enough to grip the baseball with 2 fingers, I recommend that they use 3 fingers across the top of the baseball where the horseshoe forms. 3 fingers across the top, thumb underneath. In this fashion, you get better control of the baseball, and it frees up the wrist to be able to throw properly and take stress off of the elbow and the shoulder to be able to throw the ball. Again, 3 fingers across the top of the baseball, the horseshoe, thumb underneath. One of the problems that I see that's trying to grip with 2 fingers, or their hands are not big enough, you'll see the thumb come up along the side. And when the thumb comes up along the side of the baseball, it tends to stiffen the wrist. So one of the links in the chain is missing, and it sends the pressure back up to the elbow and potentially to the shoulder. So again, I can't stress it enough. If your hands aren't big enough for you to grip with 2 fingers, 3 fingers across the top, make sure that the thumb is underneath the baseball. 2-seam grips. The reason it's called 2 seams because as I rotate the ball, you can see 2 seams. 1, 2. And how that pitch is thrown, or how that ball is thrown, is with the fingers on the seams. And I recommend it for pitchers if they want movement. I do not recommend it for infielders or outfielders because of the movement. You want to be able to be accurate with your throws, and 2-seam balls that are thrown tend to move more. 4-seam grip, 2 fingers. 2 fingers across the top, thumb underneath. 3-finger 4-seam grip, 3 fingers across the top of the horseshoe, thumb underneath. 2-seam grip, 2 fingers on the seam, thumb underneath. 3-finger, 1 finger on the side, 1 in the middle, 1 on the other side, thumb underneath. Coaches and parents, one of the early detectors that you can use to see if your child is throwing with the proper throwing mechanics, keep in mind that a basic is the ability to show the armpit when you throw. So in doing that, you'll see my armpit. One of the main problems that we see is when the elbow starts to drop down, you lose the armpit. That sends stress to not only the shoulder but to the elbow as well when that elbow gets below the heart level. Look at how my arms naturally hang to my side. All I need to do is just raise my arm from that position, and you'll see the same angle from here, my shoulder, to my elbow, out through my hand. It's the same as from my shoulder to my elbow to my hand again as it rests on my side. And as if to just raise it, you can see the armpit. If I do anything other than this and I change the position just a little bit, as you can see as I move the ball closer to my head, the tendency is for the elbow to drop, and you can see how it's dropped below my heart line. And you can't see my armpit. So that's one of the things that you look for the proper throwing slot. Arm slot is the same as your arms should hang to the side. And that's going to vary because there's some kids whose arms are a little bit straighter. It's going to be a little bit higher. They might even throw from the side. So it's a natural throwing position, but one where the armpit is exposed. And we like to think of that as being a 90-degree angle from the elbow to the side of the chest there. That's a proper throwing slot. As long as you can get there, your kid should be pretty safe.